Hey y'all, it's your girl Cass. Welcome to my page, channel, podcast, Cast the Light. Yes, you are hearing from me again today because something came up once again that made me think back in time and how I felt and what was being projected on me. So I definitely wanted to share this. So I was actually listening to one of my favorite oracle readers, and she was talking. Obviously, I'm an Aquarius, so she was talking about the Aquarius and how people think that you think you're better than them, and that's not even the case. And I was just like, yes, I'm glad I'm glad you can feel our energy. Obviously, this is not for every Aquarius, just like it's not for every, but most of us are not that kind of person. We're really to ourselves, grounded, humanitarians. We want to help the collective, the world. We just all want everybody to be happy. And it just brought me back to my last situationship where he told me you think you're better than people, and I was just like, what? I'm like, where are you getting this from? Guys, I just noticed this. What is going on? I'm gonna go put my oil when I get back home. But back to what we were talking about. That you think you're better than people, and I'm just like, is this what you think, or where is this coming from? And he stated that, oh, other people have said this before, and I'm just like, who are these other people? Because at the end of the day, are people gonna assume things about you? Absolutely. Are people gonna say things about you? But if you don't know me, if you haven't spent the time with me, if you haven't had a real conversation with me, I really don't care what you're saying, because you really haven't gotten to know me. Your baseline or substance of even saying that is what? From nothing. So for somebody who I was with for certain amount of years, for me to say that, and for how I showed up in your life, it was kind of crazy to me that you would even say that about me to me, that I think that. It's I feel like it was a projection immediately. I was not offended, because it's just really, because this is a person that I really helped out a lot, and not one time did I even call you a bum. Not one time did I throw in your face what I've done for you, unless you try to make it seem like I didn't. But more than half the time, I'm just not even giving it a time of day, because at the end of the day, you know what I did for you. I really don't gotta tell you what I did, because you was there, you experienced it, right? And so it was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate statement to hear. And then I asked my coworker, I'm like, do you feel that way? Do you think I feel better? And he's like, no, I think that you think, or no, that you have, you think differently from other people, but anything like that, I don't feel like you think you're better than people. And I'm just like, are you being honest? Because I'm like, no pressure, you know what I mean? And he's like, nah, I don't think that. And I'm just like, well, thank you for your honesty, because how I deem it is this, right? If you really got to know me, but I feel like people just be projecting. Hear me out. So if you've been listening to me for a while, I always say I love my reflections. I do not think I'm better. I literally say this. I don't think I'm better than you. Just because I carry myself in a certain way, just because you don't carry yourself in that same way, or if you aspire to carry yourself in that, really has nothing to do with me. I still love you just like anybody else. I don't care how gifted you are. I don't care how much zeros or commas you have in a bank account. I don't think you're better than me, and I don't think you're below me. At the end of the day, we all come from the same source. So for that to even be projected on me, really kind of had me feeling some type of way. And it's just people be insecure, and then will project certain ideas and thoughts onto you. That's just for example, I'm pretty sure everybody knows somebody who they call the goody two shoes, who does no wrong. And it's just do you think they feel like they think they could do no wrong? Or is that something you're projecting on to them just because of how they carry themselves and how they move? I feel like it's so messed up for people to just project things onto people who don't even really feel that way, and really just doing the best that they can to be a good person, to move in the best light that they can, do good things. And that just because you're not able to do those things or move in that same way, that you think that's how they feel. No, that's how you think. Okay? And this is where it goes back to like awareness. Like if you are really aware, it's like be able to tell the difference between confidence and arrogant, right? Somebody who lacks confidence will look at a person and be like, oh, they conceited, they're arrogant, they this and that. And it's just like, no, it's because if a person who's confident is going to be able to recognize another person who's confident, and also tell the difference between confidence and being arrogant and being conceited, so to speak, right? Because you really should think highly of yourself. But only people who are lacking or insecure will see it in that way, because they don't show up in that way. They lack those characteristics, they lack those qualities, and therefore it be projected like this negativity onto these people who are really just living their best life, trying to be the best person that they can be, and then they get like talked bad about because of that. And I feel like that's crazy, because like I know when I used to be an a-hole, like I know when I used to be like really blunt and don't care about how people feel, but now I'm solely emotionally intelligent and aware that I know how to put myself in other people's position. But I also feel like it doesn't matter. The one thing I can control is my delivery, right? But even if I say it in the nicest way possible, if it's not something you wanted to hear, you wasn't ready for, or you don't like, that one thing I cannot control is how your reaction to what I say and do. So even though I may say it in the like softest, nicest way possible, you're not gonna like what I say, and you're gonna think I'm being mean or this and that, because you can't handle the truth. Because most people in your life hasn't been truthful to you. Most people in her life think they were doing you a favor by trying to, what's the word, not hurt your feelings. And how does that really allow you to grow? Which is why we lack so much accountability and responsibility when it comes to certain things. Because when somebody do tell you the truth, you're gonna be like, well, nobody ever told me that, because nobody ever really loved you enough to be and tell you the hard things, because the truth is not always pretty at the end of the day. And that's how you know somebody loves you or cares about you enough, that they're able to tell you the truth, even if it may be hurtful for you to hear. Because if nobody's gonna tell you, baby, trust me, I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you in the most loving and passionate way I can. But can I control how you react to that? Because it might be hurtful. Because it's going to allow you to, or force you to look at yourself in these aspects and different perspectives that you haven't seen yourself before. Like, I cannot control that. And that does not make me a bad person, because I'm able to tell you the truth because nobody else has. And it doesn't make me a bad person because of how I carry myself, which is to a high standard, and I move in dignity, and I move in love, and I move in truth at the end of the day. And so I'm never gonna feel bad for who I am and how I carry myself and how I move, because I know I'm moving in God's light ultimately. And if that offends you, and if that makes you insecure, then you're not a person that I can really have around. Because if it's one thing I need around me, it's people who's gonna be honest, truthful, and move in love, and be compassionate, and not project their insecurities or how they feel about me just because they may think like they want to be where I'm at, and so therefore they're projecting that I think I'm better than them. And that's not the case, because no matter what position I'm in, how many commas I have in my bank account, or where I'm going, I know that ultimately we still come from the same source. We still have these same meat bodies. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, never in your life, please don't think one moment, even me just having these conversations, to just sharing my perspective and my awareness with you, that I think I'm better than you. Okay? Because again, we all come from the same source. Okay? We all gonna have different experiences in this lifetime. We are not meant to be the same. What's your experience is your experience. What's my experience is my experience. But how we move, how we choose to love, how we choose to honor each other, respect each other, show up for each other, that's solely up to you. And I can't make you feel that way, and you cannot project those feelings onto me just because I'm doing the best that I can and being the best version that I can be in my light. Because I feel like that's something like confident people, or people who just carry themselves in light and love and move in that manner, get a bad rep and thinking like, oh, they think they're too good, or they think they're better than people. And it's just like, no, like, is that what you think of? Like, what if that's the case? What do you think about yourself that makes you feel that way in that person's presence? What are they actually really doing? Are they saying they're better than you? Like, you know what I mean? You have to make it make sense and really self-reflect. Like, is it them or is it you? Is this something that you're lacking in? Is this something that you're insecure about? Is it because you don't love yourself or you want to be in that light that it's hurting you to see that, and therefore you have to speak negatively about that person? Okay? Just something to think about, because I will never forget that. And I'm just like, damn, I thought you knew me. Like, especially how I showed up for you. Like, I never would have thought that you thought because I never, like, talk bad about you like that, for real. If anything, I always talk facts, like, what you actually did. And anything outside of that, like, for what? Like, at the end of the day, if I'm talking about bad about you, it's going to be a reflection on me at the end of the day about what I'm allowing and what I'm, you know, like basically settling for. And that's not right at the end of the day. So it's just like, it doesn't favor me or does me any benefit to speak down to you or make you feel less than when I'm the person who's with you. And it's just like, well, what does that say about me for being with a person like that? You get what I'm saying? That's really just not the type of person I am. I know where I've been and where I am now and where I'm going. And for anybody to think that, like, I really don't care, because at the end of the day, God knows my heart. God knows how I move. The people who really know me, who are around me, know my heart and know how I move and how I love. So it's just like, I don't have to convince you of who I am. And if that's how you feel, you don't have to be around me. Like, point blank period. Like, stay over there and I stay over here and keep moving in my light. So that was really just a message I had to, like, say today, because that really, like, struck like a memory in my head. And I'm just like, yo, that was really messed up. Like, they really said that to me, bro. And I'm just like, that's how you feel? And then you want to bring up other people like that's who I care about? No, I'm talking about what you saying to me. I experienced, like, you experienced me in ways nobody ever else experienced me. So I want to hear, and that's how you feel? Then it's just like, what was me maintaining all of that was like, it's not for nothing, because at the end of the day, I still held my composure. I still moved in my light and my love. But it's just like, it's sad that people would stoop down to those levels just for them to try to feel better about themselves, or try to, like, one up you and make you feel like you done things that you didn't do, or just like make themselves feel better about the situation because they know they're not where you're at and that you're moving in your light and living. They can't do that, and therefore they're gonna try to diminish your light in the process, which is not cool. But that's really all I had to say. That was my message. Don't let nobody dim your light. Don't let nobody, like, talk down to you. Keep moving your light. Like, F the naysayers, whatever they say about you, because anybody who truly knows you, knows your heart, will know the truth when it comes to you. And you don't have to do no convincing when it comes to that, because you and God know what's up at the end of the day. But please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.